Hey everybody, it's Charles Marks, Marks Jewelry Company. This is my first video on our YouTube channel for the store. And I've got many things to share with you guys. And the first one I want to talk about is buying a diamond. I was in Chicago and I had to go to a diamond dealer's event, and I was taking an Uber from my hotel to the jeweler's building on Wabash. And the lady that had picked me up, you know, I was dressed for work, I had a sport coat on, I had a bag, I had obviously, you know, probably jewelry on me. And I gave her the address. It was 5 South Wabash. It's a notoriously well-known address for jewelers, for a jeweler's building in Chicago. And she goes, "Are you a jeweler? Are you a diamond dealer?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And she was in the process, her and her fiance, of buying a diamond. And there is so much information, misinformation, confusion. And I spent the whole ride talking to her about how to buy a diamond. I wasn't trying to sell her anything, but I wanted to educate her so she could make her own decisions. And I'd say the first thing is this: don't buy a diamond unless it's pretty. And I think that was the point I tried to make to her. You know, there's so many places that'll get you souped up on the grade, the paperwork, the lab report. And while that's important information to have if it's accurate, the diamond has to be pretty to you, okay? And if you can't tell or say to yourself, "Wow, that diamond's pretty," then you haven't looked at enough diamonds. You need to go look at more diamonds. They are going to be in quite a range. There's some that are very clean and have very little imperfections. There's some that have so many imperfections in them that it literally detracts from the beauty of the stone. There is an invisible line. That grade is called SI2. SI2 to I1. That is the line where you can or you cannot see inclusions with the naked eye. In my opinion, personally, I'm not interested in paying for real estate I can't see. It doesn't make sense to me to buy my wife a diamond that is the higher grades. Now, if I am getting a higher grade stone at the same price as the SI2, SI1 stone, fine, you know. And I don't want to get off in the weeds, and I don't want to get off track. What you need is an eye loupe. It's a magnifier. This is what the jewelers use. This is what we use, diamond dealers use. And under 10 power magnification, you look at the stone. And that's how you tell what's in the stone. First you look at it with the naked eye. Then you look at it under magnification. So what we're talking about here is basically clarity. I think you could go to a jeweler and you could say, "We are in the market for buying a diamond. We are looking at stones. I'm not going to buy a stone until I think it's pretty." So that salesperson's job is to sell you a diamond. Know that. Know they're going to try to talk to you. Know they're going to try to close you. But until you can look at enough stones, and if it's 10 stones, if it's 100 flipping stones, you keep looking at stones until you have a comfort level of saying, "I've seen a lot of stones. This one's pretty. This one's not." on clarity is what we're talking about. Now, color is a little bit of a trickier thing. The human brain cannot remember absence of color. Some jewelers can't see color with the naked eye. Okay, the way that the graders do it is they compare. If you have a known stone, a stone that you know is white, bright, high color grade, DEF color, wear it. Make sure it's clean, and side by side, compare the stones. Color is another thing. You got to look at a lot of stones. Color in some cases is more important than clarity. Color is what'll take a average stone, average grade stone, and turn it into a flippin' rock star, in my opinion. Color, when it's on the negative side, color could take a great grade stone and make it a dog, okay, in my opinion. So blistering white to piss yellow is the range. You want to look at enough stones where you can see how that affects. And then the size of the stone, the carat weight. So the size of the stone is kind of the whole thing. So you have your clarity, you have your color, then you have how big it is. And all of those components go together and wind up in a grid on a chart that we refer to as a rap sheet, okay? And that's where we get the basis for the pricing. So there's other things that are deeper into this too. Is a stone milky or hazy? They don't tell you that on a rap report. So when somebody comes to me, I tell them this. I tell them, go to Costco, go to Sam's Club. I might even name a well-known pawnbroker that's a gemologist who has great stuff and knows their stuff. I'll send them to the best places that I can think of and see what they can find. And if they find a deal that they like, buy it. Okay? The things that are mistakes. I have a friend who really wanted an old European cut stone. I'm switching gears, guys, and we're talking about other things than just the nature of the stone itself. They wanted an old European cut stone, an older cut stone. Those stones have a smaller table and more of a crown angle. The crown angle is where the fire comes out of the diamond. The table's the flat spot on top. The crown is next. The outer circumference is the girdle. Then you have the pavilion and the culet at the very bottom. So the point being, these stones breathe fire. I used to have an estate jewelry store in Old Town St. Charles. I'd had 10 feet of showcases full of diamond rings. And I don't care if a girl was 8 years old or 80 years old, they always came and pointed to the old European cut stones. The old mine cuts are not optically very good. They're very lumpy. A lot of that was before electricity. If you think about it, in the turn of the century, early 1900s, a lot of places that was BE. And they did the best they could with what they had to work with. 1940s, somewhere in there, you had your old European cuts, you had transition cuts. Gorgeous. Anyway, this gal wanted one of those stones, and she went into a store, and the salesperson talked her into something else. And I just kind of feel like, you know, shame on that salesperson. If they wanted to expend a little effort and time, they absolutely could have gotten that stone in for their customer to look at. So I think side-by-side comparing is what you want. This is a significant purchase that you're buying, and you have the right to get that kind of service. So I will shop any stone against Blue Nile, Sam's Club, Costco, and the strongest players in my market. And as a good diamond dealer, jeweler, it's my job to know these things. And then that way I can have confidence that I want confidence in two things. I want confidence in when your gal gets together with her friends and they all stick their hands together to see what everybody's ring looks like. I want the one that came from here, from me, to make you look like a hero. Okay? I also want to do that within your budget. All right? And instead of selling you what I have, I'd rather take the information, leverage my considerable resources and connections and relationships, and deliver you a home run.